Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 3 versus 3 on Mortalis. Playing on the northern side as the Imperial Guard, we've got Yazoo 55, we've got Barely as the Orks, and we've got Buttered Toast as the Orks. And on the opposing side, on the south, we have got Say What as the Eldar, we've got Boasty as the Space Marines, and we've got Falco as the Dark Eldar. So on a small map, Mortalis, but a small map for big men. Got critical locations, controlled victory countdown as a victory condition, so got to keep our eyes on this critical location in the centre. There'll be lots of fighting over this space, I imagine, as the game progresses. As team composition, northern side probably has the advantage in this situation, as the Imperial Guard, look at them, stick an infantry command right here, which adds a little bit of coverage over onto this side. Orks as well, they've got shooting bits on their building, so nice defensive postures for them to sit back in, as well as like a really good Tier 1 firing line, as obviously the Orks go for double shooter boys usually as an opening. So either that or they quick tier into Storm Boys, but I don't think Storm Boys are going to be the answer on a map like this. Someone's like, oh, that's a bit cheeky. Mr. Yazoo 55 bringing out a heavy bottle turret down onto this side of the map. Hopefully Falco will see this. Although he's opening with a Dark Foundry, which is quite interesting, unless he's planning to quickly tech up into upgraded Mandrakes, but I can't imagine jet bikes being all that effective on a small map like this, but we shall see how effective that is. But yeah, I think the southern team is going to struggle a little bit. I mean, these factions up north, quite good at holding their ground, quite good at massing a bunch of infantry and sticking it where the sun don't shine. But down here, I mean, Space Marines, they'll be alright if they mass their tacticals. Eldar, though, don't really have that sticking power until they get maybe into Tier 2 or Tier 3. Again, both Dark Eldar and Eldar do like their manoeuvrability. And on Mortalis, there's not much manoeuvrability. The command squad going for the usual pre-psycho wombo combo. Big Mech going to be waddling his way down. Dark Reaper's already out for Say What. Going to go for that early Dark Reaper Exarch. Well, when I say early, it's standard time, really. Managing to also defend and get rid of the Tech Priest engines here from building up this heavy bottle turret, which is good stuff. Almost completed, so if they build up, that'll have been a real serious problem for the southern team. Force Commander over here. Going to stay in range position. Turret being cancelled, and we now have the first of the Reaver jet bikes, which, to be fair, they'll do alright if they can stay away from these commanders and focus exclusively on the squishy guardsmen and slugger boys. Slugger boys will be going for that capture of the critical location in the middle as quick as humanly possible. While first the shooter boys mosey on down from Buttered Toast. I do hope Buttered Toast is a reference to Ed from the best cartoon series ever, Ed, Ed and Eddy. Certainly my favourite anime I've ever seen on the TVs and the tinterwebs. Another Reaver jet bike coming out as the Big Mech, he does a big teleport away. He doesn't want to get involved in that. Quite low on health at the moment. Could have separated himself and then jumped to where these shooter boys would have probably been quite useful in the exchange, but then again, in saying that, Reaver jet bikes, they have got vehicle armour, even though they are quite squishy, and backed up by a squad of Dark Reapers. Going to cause these guys issues, but they do manage to get the cap on the critical location. Jet bikes can decap it there if they do wish. Over here, the Eldar are not having an opportunity to capture their relic. They are going to get it decapped. It's going to try and prevent these shooter boys from doing it there. It's quite an expensive trade if they lose that squad. And we do have a... Oh, for a second I thought there was going to be a turret. No, it's a listening shrine. That's another thing as well that Dark Eldar are going to struggle with, considering that the next to the Imperial Guard is that they don't have any turrets in Soulstorm. So they can't put back a cheeky little defensive structure just to help them out. Like I say, massing the infantry in the middle, and also this heavy cover in the middle is really going to help them. And I mean, the southern side, the only artillery that they have to break this up is the Whirlwind, and you can only get one, as far as I remember. Eldar don't have any artillery. I mean, they've got a Viper. Viper's blow things up. Dark Eldar don't really have anything there. They've got no crowd control in the way of just exploding people. But they're putting in the work, they're putting in the graft. Reaver jetbike goes down. Morale being broken for the guardsmen on the backside. But I mean, that's just a lot of boys. And they're now also going to go for the big shooters as well, so that's going to be even more deadly for the heavy infantry on the way in. Both says go back. I mean, they don't need to defend this side of the circle. Especially with, if I go onto their side and then turn Fog of War off, yeah, they could basically see anything coming in. Whereas, on the opposing team, don't even get a sniff. So they'll be seen a lot earlier than anyone else. So that's a bit of an advantage, isn't it? That critical location, even if you've not got critical location countdown victories on, Still a very amazing bonus when fighting on this map. But now these guys, they're getting a bit bold, they're getting a bit brave, they're getting a bit, some would say, brash. And going away from the heavy cover. So now's the time to get those licks in while you can. Got even more Reaver jet bikes being summoned out. Got a tortured slave in their ranks as well to stab them with the healing stick. Slugger Boy's been pushed down over onto this side. Ready to bash the Dark Reapers good and proper. But overextending just a little bit. Managed to get a squad wipe on those Guardians. And now we're going to go for that decap as well. Oh no, never mind. It was already decapped. Slugger Boy's now been taken out. One squad wipe going on over there. Very unfortunate situation. Could have saved them by not sending them in. But then again, the more you deny the economy, you feel it later on in the game. Guardsmen now in tier 2, inspiring the men, hopefully not nearly as intensely as the Commissar we saw the other week. No one really wants to push out of their bases, as I assume they're going to be taking up. He says that teched up over here, I imagine. Space Marines, have you teched up? Yes, you have. Tier 2 chaplain on the way, going to go for a machine cult. And vehicles against a mass of infantry is definitely the way forward. Got one missile turret over here. Mechanized command for the Imperial Guard. How are the Orks doing for tech? Are you doing alright? Almost on tier 2. Almost on tier 2 as well. So everyone's taking up quite nicely. Tower of Loathing. Really loving his situation here. Got the Slave Chamber going for its meat upgrade. But 3 minutes and 14 seconds to capture that critical location in the middle of the map. As the Orks and Imperial Guard push on forward. Guardsmen not been upgraded in the slightest. It's quite common to see with the Guardsmen, you either go for those vehicles or you go for upgraded Guardsmen. You don't really see both at the same time, as it's quite a intensive green money thing going on. Space Marines, they have not gone for any heavy bolters. That would have been really useful in this situation though. Heavy bolters could melt their way through all the Guardsmen, as well as the shooter boys. But pushing these guys down to the rafters. Going to see a haul of blood, so I imagine Scourges are what Falco will be going for here. If he can keep his things intact. Rhino Transport bringing these guys close up in. Chopper going to help these guys recover their health, but that's a lot of firepower for just 2 Space Marine squads. Kind of need to work in tandem with your teammates. Also, Rhino Transport now been zapped with a Chaos Machine Spirit. Sentinel waddling down. Well, not waddling, striding almost even. Coming down. And the Dark Reapers. Oh, you've gone for a Falcon Grav Tank, that's why. Double Dark Reapers in there as well, so that might be the way forward, just to ignore this sight advantage that the Northern team have. Get yourself close to the transports, pop your boys out, have a grand old time, shake a tail feather. There we go, that's what you want. Stick them in the heavy cover. Make that positioning advantage moot. Rhino's gone down, but that's fine, they are already in the thick of it. Space Marines have also gone for their shoulder pad upgrade, which I do believe that's the health upgrade? Question mark? Should know this by now. Damn it, Mr. Landshot, learn your game. By this point, at the very least. But it seems like as if now that the tides have turned, now that the more elite, more specified troops of the Space Marines and Eldar have tucked to the middle. Now we're seeing Scourges? No, we're seeing an Archon instead. Alright, okay. Fair enough. I mean, Archon will be able to, if he goes for his, that skull thing that makes them go all mental and fight each other. Be quite useful. It can also stun people into place as well, which is quite useful. Quite useful indeed. Got some tank busters in the mouth of Butter Toasts' base. Butter Toasts? S or S? How does one make that into a plural? I should know this. We're having a bit to drink. And alcohol and grammar are not a thing that one should wombo combo. Everyone now just staying away from that middle. No one having captured that critical location. Dark Eldar yet to re-listing post their relic. Well, that's quite cheeky. Heavy weapons team firing away at that Tower of Loathing. Yeah, Falco not really got much long-ranged options here, so unlucky that he spawned next to the Imperial Guard. Archon, he's got 3 Incubi, so he's clearly been given that upgrade to give him an extra one. The more Incubi Archon has in his squad, the longer the duration of his abilities. So he might be used as like, kind of like a lich pin, almost. So look at the economies while we are here. It's 151 and 79, 98 and 40, and 98 and 53 compared to 104 and 40, 104 and 40, and 126 and 60. Oh, you want almost the perfect northern economy then of 104 and 60. Or 40, whatever the number I said was. But everyone just chilling, got some war tracks. Got nothing. Oh dear, oh dear, we've got barely getting into tier 3 right quick, getting out all those flash kits. I mean, he's barely got any orcs here. Look at that banter. I mean, you don't need much when you got double flash kits. They're certainly going to be ripping apart anything on the Sufan side. Rhino tentatively driving outside, seeing what the weather's like, but noticing that no thank you, this is not a day for a summer stroll. There we go, we've got the... Oh, I quite like that. So he's gone for triple heavy bolters and also... Come on, right, let me do some analysis here, please. Right, so triple heavy bolters and 1 missile launcher, and he's gone for double and double on this side, so... Not specifically trying to be good against one specific target, but trying to be general. Just go... Oh, dare I say even tactical with these tactical marines. The flash kits will come in, and these guys are a nasty piece of work. Gonna absolutely mulch and murder their way through the Space Marines. But then again, if all these guys just focus fire, I've got the Hellfire Dreadnought using its missile launcher to knock these guys around. One lonely in flash kit down there. Morale's been broken. Big fight going on here. Witches coming on, sharing out their space sniff. And the Archon getting involved. Wonderful engagement from both sides here. Doom being witnessed, but breaking the morale of the Imperial Guard over here by looks of things. Lots of tank busters, but not really many targets for them. They've only got the Falcon Grav tanks, but they have got the Wraith Lords down here that they could go for. Both got their Bright Lances, also Bright Lance platform down here, focusing on the war tracks. Quite good. Lovely little defense from the Space Marines here as that Valkyrie cannon fire comes down, jumping back into that Rhino for protective purposes. They jump forward into the heavy cover. We do have some Warp Spiders somewhere down the side as well. Wonderful for flanking. Should they get close enough. And actually they're just going to jump straight into the middle. Good against heavy infantry and infantry. Guardsmen over on this side. They've got their priests in their ranks. And just lots and lots of shooter boys and tank busters from Burley here. Which is trying to stay in ranged combat stance. So you can't blame them really. They do die quite quickly when being fired at by quite a lot of stuff, and with all the flash kits and big shooters, want to kind of avoid that. But tank busters, they can dance with them. We are going to see more tank busters over here. Lots of slugger boys as a Seers Council push those guys back. So southern side really giving the Northerners a bit of a slapping, a bit of a punching. Gascon's out. And the Seer Council deceptively tanky, these men and women are. Gonna make sure those flash kits aren't getting a use of their big custom shooters. Not gonna go for this critical location. I think they're really gonna kick themselves if they don't capture this soon. If anything, like I said, just for the vision advantage. But I suppose that these guys they see a weakness opening, smell blood in the water, may as well press on the advantage while they can. Imperial Guard gonna jump inside their mechanized command. Got a Basilisk over here to provide some long-range firing support. The Orks over here jumping inside their boys' hut, jumping out over this way and that way. Yeah, but this seems like a little bit too much for one Eldar player to deal with. Unless he gets some support, he's not going to get all that far. And now, Bird Thirst over here, getting that flanking manoeuvre in with flash kits, and just a redonkulous amount of tank busters. I mean, barely any of the missiles hit, but that's fine. Because the Hellfire Dreadnoughts are a bigger target anyway. Although they are still in the heavy cover, so doing alright. Chaplain standing next to a lonely Dark Reaper, saying, "Don't worry, Fred, it'll be alright." Chaplains of the Space Marine factions known for their love of keeping people company when they feel sad. Got some Malcadictum bloody sadness going on for those Cascans. Forced to turn their hot fire las guns against their allies for a briefest of moments. But now lots of Orks going to push down onto the Eldar side. Wraithlord's still knocking about. And the Orks just, they don't quite understand the concept of a firefight. They think, well, the closer we stand to them, surely the more damage we do. Which is once again sharing the load, sharing the good stuff. But it seems that the guys on the south are absolutely massively outnumbered. Not sure how they're going to push this back. Unless they get some AoE stuff. They've got some Warp Beasts in there. But Warp Beasts on their own are going to die quite quickly. Morale being broke are going to turn against themselves. Hellfire Dreadnoughts still alive. Does not seem like that the tank busters are being focused all that well onto those Hellfire Dreadnoughts. Which is a shame, but they are going to go for that critical location in the middle. Basilisk on the back line, still firing away. So what are the options here for the southern side? Well, they do need some more AoE damage, I reckon. Whirlwind would certainly not go amiss. Or at the very least, with those warp spies, maybe go around the side and go for these unprotected listing posts, just to force some of this massive infantry back from the centre. Do you have a fire prism? Don't see that often, but yeah, that's AoE. Certainly a good amount of AoE. These flash gates. Clearly they've had some fighting juice been popped on them. Which is a catch-22. Because if all your models in a flash gate squad is down to 1 health, you can't reinforce them. It's very, very easy to get that squad wipe happening to your very expensive squad, so... like all things with the Orks, it's a bit of touch and go, bit of good stuff and bad stuff. The Archon went down in there at some point. The Fire Prism, yeah, man. For its prismatic cores online. Oh, my goodness. That's what you want to see. Superior Eldar technology. Giving them the good stuff right in the schnozzle. Got double Fire Prisms. Might want to move this one up, say what? Get that double fire on the go. Hellfire Dreadnoughts as well for their missile launchers. Yeah, it does seem like vehicles will be the way forward against this infantry mass. Archon now back out to play with his friends. These guys, yeah, okay, the tank busters, they are quite strong against vehicles, but oh, good lord, that was a really spread out guardsman squad there, wasn't it? But even though the tank busters are good against vehicles, they've got to get relatively close to them. And these guys are quite long range stuff. So that's been taken into consideration. Imperial Guard, they're anti-vehicle stuff, that's Sentinels. Although, mind you, a Baneblade, that is also anti-vehicle as well. Anti-everything, really. 13 barrels of pure, hot, steamy goodness. Got Warp Beast Pack. Equipping themselves with Beastmaster. The southern side edging forwards. Got some Vipers in there as well. And, oh, what are you down here? You are just lots of dark. Right, okay, fair enough, that makes sense. You've got the Fire Prisms for the big booms, and then just like these guys. Maybe you can move these guys a bit forward. No need to be shy. Say what? You can show them your business if you really want to. We've got some Lehman Russes over here. So I imagine that now they've been capped out on their infantry. At least they've got enough infantry for now. Maybe some vehicles for the northern side wouldn't go amiss. War Beast now jumping forward. Going to go for that blooming Lehman Russ. Also got a... Oh, that's a very nice Soulstorm. Force these guys to keep themselves moving, which means that they won't be firing all that well for a little while. Baneblade is out on the prowl. Double Fire Prisms jumping straight in. Need to get these guys repaired there. Do you want to see them stay alive? Got a Firebomb. Now, a Firebomb, that's a wonderful idea. To blast up this patch of Dark Reapers. But the Baneblade taking out all the Hellfire Dreadnoughts, or at least just about to take out them all out. Oh, no, there's one in the middle, never mind. It should be alright. Oh, that's another thing that the Imperial Guard could do. They've got their blooming heavy weapons teams, but they're firing at just all the stuff inside the Dark Eldar base. So while all this is going on, yeah, can't really focus too much on the centre. You need to move your guys out and about to get those flankings in, especially against the Imperial Guard player, if you want to keep these guys good, sweet, and honest. The southern team have pushed forward. Now just rubbing ankles with that critical location. Do still need to cap it, but they've got time to spare. Baneblade, I do believe you're probably being repaired. Come on. Surely. No, there's no tech pre-agency yet. Would be ideal. Ah, there we go. One coming over. Good, man. Come over. Give it some love taps. But Space Marines jumping in and out. Being supported. Might want to pull these fire prisms back. They don't need to be on the front lines necessarily. But wonderful positioning from both teams here. You see how like the firing lines kind of ebb and flow as each one pushes forward or pulls back. Gotta be careful for pushing too far forward in the middle here. Remember last time when Barely Any Toast? Butter Toast did the flanking maneuver and he has got the units ready for it. Fluid tank. Big blast. Avatar of Halo Menchikane coming forward. Baneblade has gone down. And they're going to be auto reinforced. What kind of economy have you got going? You've got the flirt for it. I mean, you might need some more green money, but at this point, if you don't know what to go for and you've already got so much blue money, you may as well crack open some fresh Imperial Guard squads. You do have a couple of lads free. Dice of Destruction in here as well. Ooh, will we see double squig-offs? That's my question. Love a squig-off. The Chad relic of Soulstorm. Avatar Kane in the mix. Throwing his sword left and right. Like only a madman can. Pitmobile over here. Not really able to move. Go on, get in there. Just edge your way forward. Beep beep with your horn if you have to. If you can get a good dark arc over some infantry, that'd be amazing. Got some acid coming over here. Going to weaken the armour of anyone nearby. The firing line's now kind of just like broken down. There's no real line. It's more like one blob against another. Well, it's 3 individual blobs. Which, again, not ideal for the southern team. You want to be able to concentrate your fire on one team. And if you've got 3 separate forces, your AoE isn't going to be that effective. 1 fire prism left. Lehman Russ tank. So, oh no, we've got a fresh one. Got a fresh one from the Eldar shop. Firebomber, a really good choice here, I do believe. Really like that. It's keeping the Dark Reapers' numbers low. Slugger Boy's been moving forward, but they won't get anywhere near the front lines. Have you got a million? Yeah, I think you've just got auto build on the Slugger Boys, so we'll see a lot of those guys coming out. Another Baneblade on the way. Eldar, zappy bits. Huge explosions. There's a good amount of damage. Well, this Mega Armoured Knob squad is coming over, but instantly wiped out. Got another Psychic Storm going on over there, but the smaller variant. Farseer going down. Got to keep sure that she's on the back lines. Where's the big... Are the big mechs still knocking around for the Orks? Hold on. Not for barely, but we do have a War Boss and a big mech for Butter Toast here. You need to make sure that big mech in a fight like this, especially when there's all these vehicles around. The Tank Zapper, amazing resource to make use of. Got some Scourges from Falco. That's what Dr. Rod, more firepower. Close combat units aren't going to be saving the day, I'm afraid. I don't think in this. Maybe one witch squad in there just purely for the combat drugs. But the Warp Beasts, unless they're going in for solo flanking maneuvers, aren't going to be winning you any prizes. But trying to rebuild that Mars Pan Command, denying that secondary Baneblade. And the Fire Prism moving forward, having a look at that Basilisk and the Lehman Russ over there. Very little in the way of fighting force in the middle there. Orks on the right side, on top side, could push in and crack all these guys down if they really wanted to. Dice of Destruction on the front lines, almost at half health. Are the Dark Eldar now able to... No, not... there we go. They're now finally able to rebuild these Tower of Loathings. Still got the heavy weapons teams on the back lines there. I'm going to go for those auto cannons as well. Making sure that they're not amazing against infantry or vehicles, but just general purpose weapons. Where did you come from? I just thought you just descend from on high. Yeah, Lehman Russ just on auto reinforce here. As another avatar comes out. There we go, that previous one was not the last bender. Many more avatars where they came from. And, oh my, I see, if they managed to capture this a lot earlier, like I say, I mean, compare and contrast, they could barely see inside the base, but if they had that critical location, there'd be a lot more easier to spot things going on. But then again, Eldar, they're inside the Imperial Guard base. As long as they keep the number of the Imperial Guard low, that'll just basically prevent them from securing any kind of purchase in the middle fight. Also, they've amassed their numbers. But he's got his army ready to come in for a strike. Just waiting for the right time. Don't want to waste your full... No, I was about to say something else. I'm not going to make that analogy. This is a Christian channel. Nothing but pure sweet references here. And member berries. That's what we do on the commentary. War truck coming down here. What have you got? Oh, you've got blooming knobs. Tons of knobs. Big Mech and War Boss. And he's just going to come in and just crump everything good and proper. None of this warp gate trying to hide things shenanigans. They're just going to come in and... Oh, never mind. We're straight for that webway assembly. You can take your economy. You can shove it. We're going for your tech. And the Wraith Lords are going to come straight back over. Warp Prisms are not going to do anything. Avatar King, by the time he comes back, is no good. So I do quite like the dedication there. But a bunch of Wraith Lords, is that going to be enough to crump the knobs, especially when they've got the power claws on the go? Not sure how many you've got in total. That was 4, 5... It's about 9 in total by the looks of things. Webway assembly goes down. Do you have any more builders? You do, but only the one. Got to keep this precious boy safe. But yeah, just going for all that production. And it will take them a long while to rebuild all that stuff as well. So essentially the Eldar now have only really got what they brought to the table. Got a lot of Scourges there. And Imperial Guard are struggling quite something. Might need to bring the Avatar back at some point. If anything, just to keep that general global buff that the Avatar brings. But there we go, Squig. Look at him go. He's big, he's green, he's mean. He's got tusks. And he is ready to get a good charge in, so long as the blooming pathing doesn't get him done in. Gonna come over, see what he can do. And also, no, he's gonna go for dice obstruction. There we go. Take your fancy flying vehicle and shove it where the sun don't shine. I'm a big green dog. And I'm ready for a... I don't know, what the dogs enjoy. A burn. Pissing on fire hydrants. Fucking up mailmen, probably. That's what he's doing. There we go. The Dice of Destruction is the Postman. And the Squig Off is the Pitbull. But yeah, nice effort inside the Imperial Guard's base. Still got models in there. Flash kits are coming in to clean things up there. And does look like the field command might go down. There will be some tech police agencies coming in to repair it there. The Avatar very low on health at the moment. Down this side, it looks like as if they were able to push these guys out of their base. Burnsinger still alive, so they will be able to rebuild their fallen empire. How much flirt people got going on at the moment? Not much. A little bit. Imperial Guard, you're happy. Orks, you're doing fine. Oh, Jesus, Butterthurst. He's in the money. He's in the money, and he's going for unlimited slugger boys here. What do when you lose out on all your boys and your elite forces? You just get out the chaff. The chaff and the riffraff. And realistically, the Eldar, they've got nothing going for them apart from just a massive Wraith Lords. They do still have their support portal. Able to bring out those Wraith Lords still. I mean, Tank Busters, they're there. And there's no infiltration detection for the Eldar available for them, as they cannot get any more Warlocks. So these Tank Busters could just basically sit around and chill out. Do have a Squig Off for Butterthurst now. Oh, no, hold on, wait a minute. Because you're infiltrated, that's why. So you've got your aspect portal still. But nowhere near being able to rebuild that webway gate. Gonna hide... Oh, they are gonna hide inside webway gate. I mean, a webway assembly. Silly me. Dark Eldar, they're getting messed up. Squig Off still in there. Dias has gone down, however. Diamond Dallas Clay being crumped good and proper by the big dog. Us sluggers just descending upon bursty in the middle. In fact, do both of you... Yeah, you've both got the Infinite Slugger Boy upgrade, so... Very tasty stuff. Do love the upgrade. That's what makes the Orks in the late game, in my honest, humble opinion. They're just going to come around, just systematically smash up everything. Good and honest. As the way Gork and Mork intended it. Mega Armor Knobs cutting down this Cabal Fortress. High-fiving it around the edges. And a War Boss. Look at him go. He's not with the boys, he's doing his own little thing. Enjoying himself, as one does. Space Marines are holding the line in the middle, but when I say holding the line, I mean just really cowering in the corner. Maybe if we don't kill them anymore, they will leave us alone. But Dark Eldar, they have dropped. They've been crumped. Sent to the Shadow Realm. Imperial Guard nowhere to be seen at the moment. They're just kind of emotionally recovering from almost being taken out. But yeah, really close game. I think it was because they left Boto's just to build his force. Didn't really pressure him all that much. Also, like I say, could have put a little bit more thinking into that critical location in the middle. In a match like this, the critical location, that's usually how you would see a team win. But these guys, like I said, they don't have much staying power. They don't have like a lot of holding power like the northern side does. You know, one member can't build up turrets. These guys can build buildings where we can hide lads in. Yeah, it's a sad situation for all, but just look at the sheer amount of boys. They're having a good time, aren't they? Eldar holding on to the last man. You've got to respect it. There's no more Eldar left. And that's all the structures gone. So very well played from all those here, etc., etc. Arman. And thank you, Toast, for sending the game in via the Discord. So if you want to send games in via the Discord, have a look at the Discord in the links in the description below. Just send in games, play some games, have all that good stuff. There is also Patreon, where if you spend £1 a month, you can watch a game a week. I think it's a steal. I think that's quite a good value for money right there. So yeah, cool, nice one. If you, cheers. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.